Once upon a time in the bustling city of Socratica, there lived a curious young lad named Theo. Theo had a penchant for asking questions about everything he encountered. His relentless curiosity was both a blessing and a curse. It made him the brightest student in his village, but it also made him ponder the mysteries of existence at the oddest hours. One sunny morning, while sipping tea with his elderly neighbor, Mrs. Agnes, Theo asked, "Mrs. Agnes, why do we do the things we do?" Mrs. Agnes chuckled, her wrinkles dancing with amusement. "Well, young Theo, that's a question philosophers have pondered for centuries." "Philosophers?" Theo's eyes sparkled with intrigue. "Oh, yes, indeed," Mrs. Agnes replied. One of the greatest philosophers, Socrates, believed that the unexamined life is not worth living. The unexamined life? What's that? Theo asked, taking a bite of his buttered toast. Mrs. Agnes explained, "It means living without thinking deeply about why you do what you do, without questioning your beliefs, actions, and values." Theo contemplated this as he finished his tea. He couldn't resist the allure of philosophy. From that day forward, he decided to live an examined life, just like Socrates had suggested. He started his philosophical journey by asking questions, lots of them. He questioned the motives of his fellow villagers, the reasons for the rising sun, and even why the river flowed. One day, he crossed paths with a grumpy baker, Mr. Grumbleton. "Why do you bake bread every morning, Mr. Grumbleton?" Theo inquired. The baker, taken aback by such an odd question, replied, "Why, lad? To sell it and make a living, of course." Theo didn't stop there. He questioned the milkmaid, the cobbler, and even the town's mayor about the reasons behind their actions. Some were baffled, while others found it amusing. The more he questioned, the more he learned about the people in his village and the world around him. He discovered that the milkmaid loved her job because she cherished the cows, and the cobbler found joy in crafting the perfect pair of shoes. One sunny afternoon, as Theo sat under the shade of a great oak tree, he realized something profound. Living an examined life didn't mean just asking questions. It meant understanding the deeper reasons behind people's actions, and, most importantly, his own. He returned to Mrs. Agnes, his eyes now full of wisdom. "I've learned that examining life isn't just about asking questions, but about understanding the why behind everything we do." Mrs. Agnes smiled, her eyes twinkling. Theo, you've grasped the essence of it. It's about seeking meaning and purpose in our actions and choices." As the years passed, Theo became a revered philosopher in Socratica. He taught the villagers the value of self-reflection and the importance of seeking wisdom in their everyday lives. Theo's legacy lived on, and Socratica became a place where people cherished their examined lives. They didn't just go through the motions, they understood the deeper reasons behind their actions. And so, in the small village of Socratica, the legacy of Socrates and the examined life flourished, thanks to a curious lad named Theo who dared to ask why.